Hey, what's up, Leanne? Good to see you here. We'll just wait for some more people to hop on, as I know there's people coming, especially our live guest, special guest as well. Oh, I think she's here. Mel, is that you? Yeah, here we are. I'm gonna invite you onto the live as well. Let me do this. Wonderful.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
Yeah, very good. Thank you. Very good.
I think there's a little bit of an echo on your end. Maybe we had this last time as well. I'm not sure. So when I'm
I
speaking, I can
really
hear.
hope it sorts itself out in a moment
Oh,
because
exactly.
I can't put earphones in because my phone's on charge.
Okay. Well, might I just have to deal with it if that's the case. But um, yeah, main thing is
I'm
is
not
that
getting
you're here.
I'm not getting an echo from you.
No?
Maybe you just have to deal with it.
Yeah. Fair enough. So yeah, we've got a few people jumping on already. I know some more people will be hopping on a little bit later on as well. Um, but most of you probably don't know who Mel is. So let me give a little bit of an introduction right now. Since I didn't do much of a promotion for this, I'm not gonna lie, Mel. I just kind of did it a little bit more spontaneous. So yeah, me and Mel, if you um, don't necessarily know, we actually met. Was it 5 years ago now? 6 years.
2019.
So it's getting to six years, isn't it? Almost. Um,
5.5. It was October,
yeah,
Barcelona. Yeah.
yeah, the back end of that. So we're getting to 6 years is almost the time that we're getting to. And when I met Mel, it was actually in another country. So we've only ever met in other countries outside of the UK, but we're both from the UK. And it was in Barcelona at this event, an Enagic event with a smaller community that was a big community back then. And the crazy thing was is that we were in this Airbnb that I was in with my mentor. So me and Mel were in different communities, and I remember speaking to my upline back then, and she basically said that, oh, there's another group of people who are in the exact same building as us, just one floor above, in the Magic, also attending this event. And I was like, wow, this is crazy because they could have booked anywhere in Barcelona to do, but they've decided to book into the same building that we're in. So one of those people that was in the Airbnb was Mel. And, we spoke briefly and connected from then. So one of the things that I personally realized in my journey is that, like, you know, you are put into these positions where you connect with people that you're supposed to be connecting with, right? Like, it's not even a thing that we can necessarily give to our own, like, intentions that we're making, that we consciously wanted to make that move. But it's just the universe that's creating these opportunities for us. And since then, we met again in Japan, which was last summer. And I just noticed there's like this huge transformation that had happened from the Mel that I saw back in Barcelona compared to who she is right now. And it's not even just from a business standpoint. I know like you've grown massively in an advocate, had a lot of success there as well. But mostly it was in terms of her actual energy, like completely shifted, changed, and started to embody this, feminine leader who is doing great work for other people. So this is Mel, and I won't do you the disservice of sharing your own story, but I think it would be good to hear from yourself, just a little bit more about your background, where you came from, and how the magic really changed your life, and what your transformation journey has been. Because I know you're all about your growth and things like that as well. So, okay.
Yeah, hi. Thank you for the introduction, Mo. Really appreciate you and really appreciate the connection that we have. You're a phenomenal man and a phenomenal leader, and I'm very grateful to be connected to you for sure. And I'm very grateful for those who have hopped on today, those hopping on live, and also those hopping on a replay. Thank you for taking your time and your energy and investing that in this call today, not only for yourself, but ultimately for the people that you're going to support, whether that be your family, your organisation, or the people that you're going to be helping in the future. So, hello. My name's Mel M. Rubin, and I started my journey in July 2017. And when I started my journey, I wasn't even looking for this. Although on a soul level I was, because I was ready, and I truly believe, excuse my cat in the background, by the way, he split his pad open and he woke me up today at maybe you can hear the doors banging. He woke me up today at 3:34 a.m. and I let him out. He split his pad open on his foot and I had to wrap his foot with stuff, and I've just shut him in so I could change it. And yeah, so apologies for him. So yeah, I wasn't looking for this on a human level, but on a soul level I was. And I truly believe, looking back at my journey, because the only reason I look back is to see how far I've come. And I'm reading a book at the moment, highly recommend it if anyone hasn't read it, called 10x over 2x. I think that's what it's called. I'll let me go and get it before I forget. Yeah, 10x is easier than 2x. And if you do want the PDF, I've got that and I can send it to you, by the way. So just remind me, please, and I can send it to you. So I'm reading this book at the moment, and naturally I just do this anyway. Whenever I look back on my journey, I look back to see how far I've come. And yes, I have goals. However, I don't rate myself towards those goals. And what he calls it in the book is the gap or the gain. And I tend to look back to see how far I've come rather than look back to see how far I've not come, which is what a lot of people do. They're like, oh, I didn't get where I wanted to get to. And consciously, yes, I'm not where I wanted to be in my business. However, I've come so far from where I was on a personal level, as you explained, Mo. So when I started my journey in 2017, like I said, I wasn't looking for it on a human level. However, I wasn't happy. I was at my rock bottom in all of the ways, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, and financially. And at the time, I didn't realize that I was at my rock bottom. The only reason that I started was for the finances, for the money. I'm a Capricorn stellium. I have 5 planets in Capricorn, house 4. So if you're not into that, basically means I'm all about creating wealth and safety, security, and I have a stellium in Aquarius as well. So what that's all about is bringing the ethereal into the material. And I have huge visions, and I always have had a huge vision since I was young. We lived not far from a really rich street where my mum still lives, literally 500 yards down the road. And I remember driving down there when I was younger thinking, I'm going to live in one of those houses one day. I'm going to be famous one day. I just knew it in my body and in my soul. I just thought I'd be like Britney Spears famous or something. I didn't think it would be anything to do with the personal development world or a magic or anything like that. But hey ho, life has its way. So I came across this advert. It was probably about 2 a.m. I remember it clear as day. I was half drunk at the time. I was abusing drink and drugs, and it was a weekday. I was working for a corporate bank, and I was just not happy. I'd not long gotten out of an emotionally abusive and toxic relationship. My drink and drug abuse was really bad. I would also self-medicate with food as well. So I'm scrolling through Facebook and I see an advert. Are you looking to radically transform your financial future? Fuck yes. Are you being serious? I was £32,000 in debt at the time, half of which my ex-partner owed me. But when we split up, he fell off the face of the earth. He stole my engagement ring, and he owed me half of that debt as well. So that engagement ring could have gone towards my debt, but no, he took it and he gave it towards his now wife. Last I knew, about like years ago. But anyway, I'm grateful for him, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I am now. And literally the only reason I started this business was because of the situation that he left me in. I was living on my own. I was paying all of the bills now, and after I had to go on a debt management plan because I couldn't afford paying the debt. I was working for a bank, studying to be an accountant, and I was in such a shit show because I thought my career was ended. I thought it was over because my credit history was now fucked. So this advert, are you looking to radically transform your financial future? I watched the web class, and back then, bear in mind, this was nearly 8 years ago, so it was very much in the infancy stages of the industry, and it was in the stage of the bro marketers, which I don't know if you were around then. Maybe you came a little bit later, but basically my first mentor, he was a cocaine addict. He was a very good salesman, and he was very conveyor belt. And the way that the platforms were back then, it was basically the way that it's sold now: create freedom, online business, high ticket sales. And it gave the training for adverts, but it gave copy and paste adverts. It didn't teach people the fundamentals of how to build a business. It just taught people how to run advertising. So me, Capricorn Stellium, house 2, one of the houses, but whatever, Aquarius stellium, three planets in Aquarius. I'm like, I don't want to be like everyone else. I'm not having your adverts. I'll create my own adverts. So intuitively, I'm jumping forward. Let me go back. I watched the web class, and it was very different. I didn't know what the fuck was going on, but I knew that I wanted what he wanted. And fast forward, I watched about the water, and I saw the compensation plan, and I was sold, not for the water because I didn't care about my health at all. I was sold because of the money. It's the only reason I got involved. I'm not going to lie. I wanted to get out of debt. I wanted to create freedom. I wanted to stop living paycheck to paycheck. So and of course I couldn't get finance because my credit history was shit, and I only had like £20 a month left after everything was paid. I was in a really shit space, and even that £20 was going towards drinking drugs anyway. So I started in the July 2017, but I knew I was going to start. And even though I didn't know how I was going to start, I just knew it. I knew it. And it wasn't until the December 2017 that I was able to invest. And leading up to that, I did everything that I possibly could to learn about the business, learn about mindset. My then mentor said to me, okay, Eric, that's my cat, he's called Eric. My then mentor said to me, if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, you need to get your mindset right. And at the time I was depressed and I was anxious, and I was like, okay, let's go. So the first books that I read were The Magic by Rhonda Byrne and A Happy Pocket Full of Money by Cameron David Gicaldi. I've also got those books too, if you'd like me to share them. And they changed my life, completely changed my life. The power of gratitude. And also, before I started, I didn't have faith. I was atheist for so long, and then just before I started my business journey, I was like, I'm agnostic. It's clear that there's a higher power, but I don't really give a shit. I haven't got the answers. That was the kind of mindset I was at. I was like, I don't really care. I'm just gonna go through my life. And I learned about the laws of the universe, and I love to play. It's in my nature. I'm very serious about what I do, and I'm very ambitious. But at the same time, I love to play. I love to be silly. I don't take myself or life too seriously. And I learned about these laws, so I started to play. I was like, oh, okay, so the law of gravity is a real thing. We know that. It's been proven by science. So the law of attraction, the law of vibration, the law of cause and effect, the law of gender, let's play. So I started playing little by little, all whilst reprogramming my mind with gratitude and flipping these negative thoughts that were happening with gratitude. And my life started to get better. I started to feel better. My life started to get better, and magic just started happening. And my life has just been magic ever since that. And I invested in my machine in the December. And remember, I couldn't get finance. My family still to this day do not drink the water. That my mum had a machine for like 5 years at hers, and my dad just recently bought it. And it's really frustrating because of how much this water's changed me and how clear as day it is to my family, but they just, you know, and I send my mum testimonials and stuff. She's still got a machine at her. She still hasn't installed it, and it's frustrating because I just want her to be healthy, you know. But all in due time, shoo, I cry when my emotions come. I'm very open-hearted. So yeah, my family were like, you're crazy, what are you doing, this is a scam. And I'm like, don't tell me. When I have my mind on something, and I also do the research as well. I'm a 5-1 reflector in the human design. So the one line, I investigate. And when I make a decision, I make sure it's the right decision for me. So before I invested, I did all of the investigation in Anagic and Kangan, and I knew this was the right thing for me. But you know, people that don't know, don't know. And I've been through so many tests and lessons in respects to my boundaries on my journey, and this is a huge, I think, more so for reflectors as well, because we're so malleable, and where if you don't know the human design, I do highly recommend that you look into your human design, because it's really going to support your business. It's like astrology on crack, if just to make things simple. But yeah, reflectors we're like the social chameleons, and we're really affected by the people that we're with and the environment. So that's been a navigation for me on the journey. And anyway, my family wouldn't loan me any money to support. I couldn't get any credit, so I had to get a second job, and there was a lot to juggle. I didn't sacrifice anything that was good for me. To be honest, I didn't even sacrifice the bad stuff. I was still getting wasted and on drugs until about 2018, 2019, probably. Yeah. And I got a good handle on it before I came to Bali. And then when I came to Bali, when we feel uncomfortable, we tend to go back to our ego and what feels comfortable. So when I came to Bali, I went for what was comfortable, even though it was uncomfortable. When I got into the party scene and started drinking more and doing ketamine and like mushrooms and all of that stuff, and that was a navigation in itself. But yeah, that's past me now. I'm in a very great place, which I'm so proud of. I've been on such a journey, but I'll go into that. I'm fast forwarding a bit more, but I'll rewind. So yeah, I had to get a second job. So I was working for the bank in the city, and it took me an hour to get to work, then working the 9 to 5 and an hour to come back. And then I'd work 4 nights a week delivering pizza for Domino's. I loved it. It was so much fun. and a Sunday I'd work as well. And then on top of that, after I'd finish work, I'd then go to the gym, and the gym, the swimming pool shut at 10. I finished work at 9, so I'd quickly drive to the gym. I'd get there for about 9:20, 9:30, and then I'd swim for however long I could swim, so I'd get my fitness in there. And then I'd go home and go to bed unless I needed to do some business work. And I was a time ninja, so I'd find different ways where I could do my personal growth and my business and all of that stuff and whatever. So yeah, that was that. And I invested, and I was doing the things. I was learning, I was growing my personal brand, I was growing myself, and I was in the wrong environment for me. And this is a big thing for reflectors. We need to be in the right environment. If we're not in the right environment, things are just not going to work. And that's been a huge lesson for me in various aspects with the first mentor that I had, and then when I joined the second community, which was where I met you even. Once my spiritual awakening started here in Bali, I became hugely misaligned with that community and the mentorship. So then things, and also my old organization, well, they're not old, they're still my organization, but I don't work directly with them because our vibrational frequency, we're just misaligned, and there's nothing wrong with it. There's no judgment. It's a spiritual thing, right? I'm here in Bali, which is the island of the gods. It's very sacred. There's so much spiritual energy, and energies really affect me. And when I came to Bali, I went deep. I'm here for really, really big things. So I had to shed a lot. And that's where you have felt the energy shift in me, Mo, because since being here in Bali, I've gone through so many different shifts and changes for myself personally, and also in business as a leader, because basically when I got to Bali, I was really fully stepping into my power and stepping into my light. And I truly believe that this journey, me starting in 2017, was an initiation into the new earth leader that I came here to be, the light warrior that I came here to be. And yeah, it's really for especially in the age of Aquarius and the way in which we're being called to lead, it's no longer in the way of ego and hierarchical and I'm at the top, this is my rank, listen to me, I'm right. No, it's not like that. It's circular. It's okay, cool, yeah, I might be a bit further ahead than you, but I can still learn from you, and you have unique gifts and medicine and magic and power that you can offer, and I'm just a guide. I'm a teacher. I'm here to show you the way. I'm here to support you in coming back to yourself. And for me to be able to do that, I had to shed a lot of unhealthy and toxic ways of being that I had been essentially trained and conditioned into because of society, because of London. I haven't been back to London since I've been here in Bali. But when I was there, it was very heavy. You know, there's a lot of drinking, there's a lot of drug taking, there's a lot of negativity, toxicity. It's not conducive for me anyway. It's not conducive for anyone, I don't think, really. And yeah, it's been a journey, and I know I keep going back and forth. I hope I'm making sense with all of it. If you do get lost, please do let me know. But yeah, so I was doing the mindset work, I was doing all of the things, I was showing up for my business when I started, but 2.5 years in, I wasn't getting the results that I wanted. And the reason why I wasn't getting the results that I wanted from my initial investment, like I had like 20 or 25 people join my old community, but they joined because of me. Now my energy was completely different to my mentor's energy, and because like I said, he was a cocaine addict, he was a bully, he was, I'm Coach K, but he wasn't a coach, he was a bully. He was just telling people what to do and where to go and all of that stuff, right? And I saw it from the get-go, and before I invested, my intuition told me no, don't invest with him. But because my mind saw the vision, I listened to my mind and thought, I don't need him. I can do it on my own, because I'm very self-led. I always have been. And lo and behold, yeah, I could do it to an extent. If I was actually standalone, maybe, but I wasn't. I was doing things on my own and then bringing people into his community, and people were coming in and they were like, nah, I'm not going to invest 5 to 10 grand with you. So I was getting the results, but in the community, but then I wasn't with Enagic because of that misalignment. So then after 2.5 years, I zoomed out and I looked at everything, because that's my superpower. I'm very good at being able to zoom out and evaluate, and to be able to see what the missing link is and refine, because everything was going great. My personal brand on Facebook was fantastic. My videos were going viral. My connections were great. And I wasn't even running adverts because I didn't have the money to. So I literally, I had nothing. I literally started from the bottom in every way. I had hardly any time, hardly any money. Like, yeah, I was putting like £3 a day on ads, but that wasn't really getting anything. And so I said, okay, I'm going to become a master at personal branding and building network marketing. And Fraser Brooks was a godsend when I first started. I was really in tune with him. And then, yeah, things were going great in that sense. From the outside looking in, yeah, great. But when it came to my bank account, no. And then out of the blue, I got a redundancy. What the fuck? So that was amazing. And no, that wasn't 2.5 years in, actually. That was a year in. That was a year into my journey, I got the redundancy. And because I believe I got that redundancy out of the blue, because I was doing all of this mindset work. I'm taking my business full time. I'm doing this. I'm showing up. I'm doing the things. And because I was matching, the universe was like, all right, there you go. You want to take it full time? There you go. So then for another 1.5 years, I was still doing the things and I wasn't getting the results. So that's when I moved over to the community that you was a part of, that I met you in. And my money was dwindling. I was like, I don't know how the fuck I'm going to reinvest, but I'm going to do it because this is my calling, and I'm not going to make him money because he doesn't deserve it. I know where I'm going with this business. I'm shooting for Balaj, Clinton, Christie vibes. I'm not going to be making him money. So I came over, and then out of the blue, I got an inheritance. What the fuck? And again, magic. My journey has just been so magic. I've continuously showed up. I've continuously done the work. As hard as it's been.
Guys, can we just take a moment and recognize Mel for how much she's pouring in to this live, and how much presence and energy she's giving right now, because this is beautiful. Drop some fires in the chat. Drop some love to Mel right now, because I mean this is amazing stuff. And if you can see, like, if you can see the amount of sacrifice and passion that she's brought into this business, let this be a moment to inspire you in terms of what leadership really is going to look like. This is amazing.
Thank you. So yeah, I truly believe, like, it came out of nowhere. It was my aunt, who I didn't really speak to because of family politics, and she ended up getting cancer and dying really quick, and she left all of her nieces and nephews money, which gave me the money to be able to reinvest in a quad. Well, what the fuck? So I reinvested in a quad and then moved. Well, I didn't move to Bali then. I went to Bali, and then within 2 months I made my money back, and within and I reached 4A, and within 7 months I reached 5A. And then I was okay financially to be able to take a step back and really work on myself and my own spiritual healing. So that's essentially been the journey. And the business, I reached 6A 2 years after, I reinvested as well, and I'm currently halfway to 6A2. And I'm nowhere near where I consciously thought I would be in 2020 in respects to money, but at the same time, I'm living such a fucking beautiful life. I have my own home, and I have a bathtub and a pool and a garden. I've got 3 cats, nearly 4 cats. He's currently in the vets, and a dog. And I've been living on my own for what, nearly about 4.5 years now. So and I've been living in a really beautiful home as well, not just this one, but the other home that I was at before this was a 3-bedroom with a garden and a pool. One of the bedrooms I turned into my office, and the one before that was a 2-bedroom. It was a 3 floor with a pool. So the business has looked after me. However, it's been comfortable, and I've been in that 2x mode because of the healing that I've been in over the last 5 years. And now I'm at a stage where things are ready to just, and there's been a lot of lessons that I've had to go through with my leadership, and also mixing with the mission, because I'm not a cookie cutter, one size fits all. The majority of people within the industry, and apologies if you teach it this way, Mo, I don't think you do fully, but the majority of people in the industry are like, online business, make all this money, freedom, and all of that. And I'm like, yeah, cool, it works, but I don't like being like everyone else. And I came here for, I have a mission. There's a reason that I came here, and I believe that there's a reason that everyone came to this planet, and this business can be interwoven with our own unique missions. And this is exactly what I've done. So essentially, the journey that I've been on since I've been to Bali, I've really gone deep into my spiritual healing. I've really landed and grounded into my power. I've let go of my unhealthy relationship with drink and drugs. I've let go of codependency. I used to have a pattern of emotional and narcissistic abuse, and that's no more. The last relationship that I had was the healthiest one, and he is such a beautiful man, a beautiful awakened man. He just wasn't ready to look at his wounding. And I hold up a very clear, potent mirror, being a reflector, especially a 5 line with the gate of friction as well. It's a lot for whoever's in my field, because I bring up everything for people. And that's why as well, with my organization that I used to work with, it was a lot for them, because we attract who we are. Yeah. So I was attracting who I was then on the frequency scale. And then I came to Bali, and I started doing all of this healing and letting go and shedding. So my frequency started to raise, and they weren't ready to do that work and really go deep and look in the mirror. And for me, it's more than just building an online business. For me, it's building absolutely everything that we want in our life. Not just the money, not just the freedom. And I'm testament to the fact that really and truly our freedom is created internally, because my whole journey, I created that freedom internally. I sorted out my mind, connected to my body, and become aligned with my soul. And it's all about mind, body, soul alignment. And you hear this a lot in the spiritual world, mind, body, soul, but people don't really get it, I don't think. And it first starts with reprogramming your subconscious mind and reprogramming your mind, which is where gratitude is beautiful. And there's various different ways to do it, through meditation and affirmations, and yeah, there's various different ways. But once we do that, then it's all about connecting to the body and connecting to the emotions, and learning how to emotionally regulate and listen to your intuition, and following that. And naturally, I've always just listened to my heart, and whatever anyone else says, I'm just like, fuck you, don't tell me. And for a little bit, I had this thing of searching for external validation and wanting people to accept me in that sense. But then no one's really going to understand your journey, because your journey is your own, right? And I've really gone through that process. of really coming to terms with not everyone is gonna it's only a few people, like less than a handful. I really tell everything about me, and even maybe one person, but even she doesn't understand. She doesn't get it. She's just a confidant that I can really speak to, you know. So it's really been a journey of learning to not take things personally, and letting go and letting go and letting go over and over and over again, which has been heartbreaking in certain aspects, because I mean, I let go of my old life in London, following my heart and following my soul, and it wasn't easy. And you know, people look from the outside in, oh yeah, I am living my dream life and I'm so grateful for this life that I'm living. However, I came here not knowing anyone. I came here not even knowing myself, and I had to find myself, and I didn't have my mum, you know. And very soon into being here, I became misaligned with my mentor, and also the upline who I used to be close to as well, because of my spiritual journey. And then all of that stuff happened with my organization. And no one really understood what I was going through, because I clearly still need to process this. No one really understood what I was going through, because no one that I knew here was in the business, right? And the old crowd, the party crowd that I was hanging around with, they didn't really give a shit about the water either. So I'm sharing my passions and they just don't care. They're just like, me, shut up, you know. And it took a lot, and for probably about 3 years I was in solitude, really doing the work and really getting to know myself. And that's a part of the journey. If you're really going to go on this spiritual journey, on the path towards your dharma, and if you don't know what dharma means, it's your life purpose, your mission here. There is going to be a time where you're going to have to be on your own to a certain aspect to really get to know yourself. So I came here, and yeah, I didn't know anyone, and the people that I started to know, they weren't really in alignment with what I was doing. And then I became misaligned with business people, and then that was a whole journey in itself, because I do the business so differently, and because I'm very it's all about creating it all. And last year was a year where I launched it as a community last year, and now it's more so a membership, because now I understand how I best work with people. And the way that I was approaching it before, there was a kind of element of entitlement from the people, and also I was still overcoming my people pleasing and my overgiving nature, and I was giving away so much for free to my organization, because I looked at it in the sense of, if I was given that back then when I started, when I had nothing, I'd take it and run with it and I'd do the work. Not everyone's like me, I've since found out. And I thought, okay, if I give them it for free, I'll be remunerated for it, because they'll build their business. But they didn't, because not everyone's like me, and that's okay. And it got to a point where I looked at how I was feeling very unappreciated and undervalued by my organization that I was working with last year. And there's so much in the now membership that I've created, so much, and it's not just the business, and there's so much in there about the business, so much, but there's personal growth there. It's not just a bit of mindset work, and I know that you go deep into this as well with the work that you do from our previous conversations. But there's personal growth, there's spiritual growth, there's shadow work, there's internal alchemy, there's soul journeys, there's everything, there's universal work, there's so much in there, and they just weren't doing anything with it. So I felt undervalued and unappreciated, and then I reclaimed my power in that sense, and I was like, I can't keep giving this to you for free if you're not doing anything with it, because there's nothing, you're not valuing it, and you're not valuing it, and you're not valuing me, and you're not valuing and appreciating what I'm doing, because I'm not valuing myself. They're just a mirror, you see. Everyone's a mirror. So I didn't take it personally, although at first my ego was like, when I really sat down and processed it and thought about it, I was like, the reason they're not valuing and appreciating me is because I'm not valuing and appreciating the work it is that I give and what it is that I do. So I reclaimed it, and I said, you're gonna, like, I'm asking for you to start investing in this, and then the people that are not aligned vibrate out of your field. And I soon found that out. And last year was very much a year of building the foundations and working out how I want to work with people. And also, you know, I don't fucking like getting on calls. I don't like doing any of that. I'm all about messaging and voice notes. But the thing with calls for me, and this is the thing, we get to build our business exactly how we want. Yeah, there's no one way, and that's what I didn't like about the old community that I was a part of. They're like the people at the top, the ones that have all of the ranks and getting all of this passive. They're like, there's only one way, do it this way, don't speak about political stuff, don't speak about stuff that's polarizing, don't speak about stuff that you care. It's like, shut up, don't tell me what to do in my business, don't tell me how to build my business. You don't know me and what I'm about, you only know you, right? So, you know, there's people out there, follow up, do this, do that, and I've built my business without following up. If something comes up that's free that I'm doing that I feel people would like, I'll reach out and say, hey, this is going on. But I'm a woman, I don't chase. That's just the way women are. It may work for me, it does work for men. Men like doing it. It's just natural for men. And the point that I'm getting at here is we get to build our business exactly how we want, right? And I don't like calls. If I have a call booked in my diary, because I'm a reflector, my energy's up there, here, there, and everywhere. And when you find out your human design, you'll get it. If you're a reflector, a manifestor, or a projector, your energy is not going to be consistent as well. So you'll get days where you'll be like, yeah, I've got the energy. And then maybe later that day you'll be like, I need to rest, I need to nap. I love 2-hour naps. I'm all over 2-hour naps. But yeah, so if I have something in my diary and maybe I want to go to the beach, and if there's a call there, it just fucks me up. So I'd rather just have it on Telegram and do voice notes and do it that way. So yeah, now I've set things up where it's that way, and everything in my platform sells, it's done, and they come to me, and I speak to people and onboard them through Telegram and stuff like that. I'm going a bit too ahead, but basically last year was a foundational year for me to work out how I really want to build my business in my own way, with my own platform, my own training, my own leadership, and it's been a journey. It really has. It's been a journey of really learning who I am, not taking things personally, really understanding and respecting where people are at in their journey as well, and not getting disappointed in them, because just within me, I have high expectations of people, but also of myself. So it's not just, and I've had to learn to let go of that. And I've had to learn to lower my ego over and over again, and not get angry if people aren't moving, and not get disappointed, and not have these expectations, and to really learn how to come back to my heart and have no judgment over where people are at in their journey, and to really know who I want to work with. I want to work with people that are like me, people that are leaders, people that want to be leaders, people that self-lead. And for such a long time, because of my people-pleasing nature and my overgiving, I was holding people's hands, and I was basically I was doing a lot for people, and it was kind of like I was dragging them, and it wasn't really allowing them to step into their leadership because I was too available. And that was a huge lesson for me. I was too available because I wanted to support them, but at the same time it wasn't supporting them. So yeah, it's been a lot, and through that I've learned that I'm a leader here to create leaders, and I'm also a leader leading other leaders towards their own innate gifts and capabilities and medicine and magic and the power within their pain, away from the corporate world. Why you've got so many skills, why are you just giving it to the corporate slave trade when you can give it to yourself in your dreams? So that's what I'm here for, and I've created my membership school. I see myself as a teacher. I'm a teacher, mentor, guide, coach. I'm all of them in one. Healer, all of them in one. And the way that I've set things up is people lead themselves through, and then there's certain like there's touch points on Telegram if people want. People can speak to me through that are in my membership through the hub. But if people are in my organization, for them to get on a call with me, they have to be getting results. I'm not going to get on a call with them if they're not getting results. They've got everything that they need in the training platform. And that took, I mean, it's been what, nearly 8 years. It's taken me a while, but then reflectors' journeys are a lot longer than many others. So that's been a journey in itself for me, to be patient and trusting of my journey, because everything always works out, and I'm always held and supported and looked after. I have been this whole time since I started. And as much as I'm not where I consciously wanted to be with the ideals that my personality and my ego has held in comparison to other people's journeys, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I have such a beautiful life, and I've transformed myself into such a beautiful woman, and the better it gets, the better it gets. I mean, if you knew me back then, gosh, I was so toxic. I was so judgmental. I used to insult people just for fun. Oh yeah, it's just a joke. Like, just randomly call people a dickhead or a prick. And I mean, now I'm like, no. But because I came from that, I get it. Like, there was this void inside me, and I was hurting. So when we hurt people, even if it's unconscious as a joke, it's not. There's something in there, right? So I used to just, I wasn't very nice at one point, and I've completely shifted and transformed things. And yeah, got on over the party as well. I've pushed myself out of my comfort zone over and over again. I never used to be able to sing in front of people unless I was drunk, or dance in front of people unless I was drunk. And I realized that, and when I decided that I wanted to shift that, I started to push myself out of my comfort zone and take myself out on my own and without drinking. And I'd go on stage and sing without drinking, and I'd be the first one to dance on the dance floor without drinking. And I was scared at first, but the more I did it, the easier it got. And I'd get on stage and share my poetry as well, which was really, really scary, because that's heart-centered writing in that sense. And you know, for me, on a screen is easy because no one's there. I mean, they're there, but I can't see their face, you know, it's a bit different. But when there's a room full of people, hundreds of people, and I can feel their energy and their eyes on me, as I'm very, very energetically attuned. I'm very energetically sensitive. So doing that was a lot. So I've done so much to push myself out of my comfort zone and putting myself within community, conscious community of people that I wanted to be around through these years of solitude and all of these lessons that I was having through the party scene of people that weren't my people, that weren't very nice to me, that I didn't feel good around. I decided I don't want to do that anymore, so I stopped that. And then because of all of the toxicity that I was getting from my old organisation and also from leaders within the old community, the projections that I was getting and gossip and like it wasn't nice. So that allowed me to take the time to think, okay, well, who do I want to be around? What do I want to build for myself? What kind of community do I want? And I started putting myself out there, even though it was scary. So yeah, I've transformed a lot, but that's come with a lot of hardship. Taking myself out of an environment, London, that wasn't good for me, following my heart and soul, coming to Bali. I only planned to be here for 4 months, and I came here 2 days before the borders shut during the global shit show. And then the longer I stayed, the more I knew in my body and soul that this was home. So yeah, I haven't gone home. I still haven't gone home. And yeah, like my nan passed while I was away, and that was hard. And there's been a lot. There's been a lot of grief that's come with it, and it's normal. It's normal when we're following our heart, when we're following our soul, when we're doing what's right for us. There's a lot of grief that comes with letting go of old versions of self and old ways of being, and sometimes our life. You might not have to move to the other side of the world to follow your heart. I just intuitively knew when I was younger that I wasn't going to have my family in London. I just didn't know where. And when I came to Bali, I just knew. It was just like, my body just knew that this is most likely going to be home base. I mean, I can't say for definite because I'm still calling in the man that I'm building my life with. So see where he's at. But yeah, I was just like, okay, I'm not going home. And my mum and my dad and my stepdad packed my flat up for me. And so that was a process. It's all been such a process. And the reason that I've been on this journey is because of the business. It's because of the water. And the water is so special. It's so special because not only does it allow our bodies to come back to optimal health, that's the first part. And when I started, I was 3 dress sizes bigger. I was depressed, I was anxious, and, you know, toxic and all of that. And the thing is they target us, this wider agenda, they target us through our health. Because when our health is compromised in our body, then our mental health is compromised. And when our mental health is compromised, our spiritual health is compromised. Why do you think two of a Najik's values are physical health, and then mental and metaphysical health is the other value on top of financial health? They get us through our health and they get us through our finances. And this whole journey with a Najik has really allowed me to come back to optimal health in my body, because when I noticed the difference in myself and in my body and my energy and my recovery time, and I started losing weight, I was like, there's a lot to this. So then my food journey changed and I became pescatarian, and then I was vegan for 4 or so years, and I'm back to being well, I'm whatever. I'm not eating meat yet, but my body a couple of times has said I want chicken, but I'm still working on the mental thing there. I don't know if I'll go back to red meat, but if I do, it would be conscious choice, which has been the whole journey with my food, is because I never used to be conscious about what I was putting in my body. I didn't care. I just ate it. And then I wondered why I felt like shit and why I was depressed. Our gut is our second brain. So if we're fueling our body with shit and chemicals and additives and all of that stuff, then we're going to feel like shit and we're going to think like shit, right? And I've been on my non-toxic journey for not June last year, June the year before. So I'd already cut out pretty much toxic stuff from my food, and I really became serious about that because there's so many hidden chemicals in our foods. So I became very very on top of that, and I started cutting it out of my my topical wear, my soaps, my shampoo. I stopped wearing fragrances and perfumes because of the chemicals in there. So I use essential oils now, and that's why I shaved my hair off. I used to have bright pink hair, and when I went non-toxic, I then bleached my hair, and because of the toxicity and the chemicals in the bleach, for the first time in my life, and I'd been dyeing my hair since I was 12, for the first time in my life, my head burned. I literally had blister all over my head, and I was like, why am I doing this to myself? Literally, I'm killing parts of myself and I'm hurting myself just for aesthetics. It doesn't make sense. So then I shaved all my hair off, and that was a process in itself because, like I said, I'd been dyeing my hair since I was 12, and it was this unconscious see me, hear me, because I never felt seen and heard when I was a child. So that was a lot to unpack. There's so much. I've been talking for a full-on hour now. Is there anything you want to say, Mo? I can literally talk for England.
I think we can tell. We can tell. I don't know why, but I can't actually see everybody's comments on my phone. But I think from what I've seen in my laptop, like everybody's loving this live so far, and they like the flow. Because when I go live as well in this group, sometimes I have a point that I want to make, but I just end up going on a massive rant or tangent, and people love it in the group. So we like this now. We want to see more of this. Flow state, Alex is saying, and yeah, just like the emotional journey that you're taking is on as well. It's like sometimes you're feeling the gratitude, sometimes you're feeling the grief, the sorrow, the pain, the anger. Like I honestly feel like I've been through the whole journey with you. You know, just as you've gone and told your story, which is absolutely epic. Ben saying thank you, and I'll tell you what. I'll give everybody in the comments an opportunity to ask any questions that you want to maybe get from Mel within her story. There's so much that I'm guessing there's like actual value, and I'm not guessing. I know there's value that can be taken from points within that journey. So if there's any comments, questions that you have for Mel, then drop it in, and whilst they're coming through, yeah, I think, okay, I've got one from Alex. He's basically saying he's 5 months into magic and has only started his awakening journey. Do you have any small steps that he could take to, I think he means like in terms of his growth and awakening into becoming more of a leader?
It really is all about trusting yourself. Too often we are looking for external validation and is this all right? Should I do it this way? What shall I do? And no one knows best what you should do than you. And that's been a huge journey for me myself, working out, okay, well, how do I want to build my business? Because being surrounded by all of these people that are doing it pretty much the same way, and it works. And I actually did a post about it the other day. It works, but at the same time, that's not the way that makes me feel good. And for me, I'm with Enagic for life, so I want it to feel good for the rest of my life. And the way that it makes me feel good is by infusing my passion and purpose in it, and by bringing my spiritual teachings into everything that I'm teaching with the business. So yeah, the biggest thing on your awakening journey is to trust yourself, is to learn how to really connect to your intuition, and your intuition speaks to you through your body. So it's learning how your body responds. And the way that I first started to learn was asking my body yes or no questions. And you'll know the difference. Your body lights up if it's a yes, and it shuts down if it's a no. And then as you become aware of that, then you can start to talk to your body, and your body can tell you what kind of foods that it wants to eat and what's right for it and all of that stuff. And you know, there's points. I mean, when it comes to there's so many different assets and facets to the awakening journey, especially with what's going on right now and everything that's being uncovered globally. I mean, I've known all of this, what's going on, since 2020, and I went in the rabbit hole for a little bit, and then I realized how bad it was making me feel, and I was like, no, I'm not even gonna. I'm just gonna trust my intuition. If it sounds right, if it doesn't sound surprising, I'm like, okay, yeah, cool, all right. But I'm not gonna get into it. I'm gonna focus on what it is that I wish to create, because where focus goes, energy flows. Everything's energy, right? It's all energy. And this is why it's really, really important to get your mind right, because your mind projects. Your mind is what creates. And I already inherently knew this through the 2 books that I started reading. Again, The Magic by Rhonda Byrne and A Happy Pocket Full of Money by Cameron David Gacaldi. I can share it again. But that really shifted things for me and really opened my eyes to having an abundance mindset and a wealth consciousness, and really working with energy. And where you focus your energy, that's what grows. So when you notice distractions or negative, scarcity, fear-based things coming your way, nope. Okay, I see it. I'm not ignoring it. I'm not spiritually bypassing it. But no, what do I want to focus on? Okay, I want to be a better leader. Okay, cool. So a huge part of the awakening journey as well is awakening to our own bullshit. A lot of people don't want to look in the fucking mirror. They don't. And this is why a lot of people haven't got what they want, because they're too scared to look in the mirror and say, ah, shit, I've gone wrong. Oh my gosh, I was toxic there. I was unhealthy there. They want to blame. Oh, it was your fault. Oh, you did it. I was like this because this, instead of just being like, all right, I'll take responsibility for that. And a huge part of this journey is taking ownership and responsibility. And that's why I've been able to continue to jump and grow and evolve and ascend in the way that I have, because I've noticed when I've been the toxic one, I've been the unhealthy one, I've not been good for myself, I've not been showing up in the ways that have been required. You know, I'm not where I consciously wanted to be in my business because I haven't been showing up that way. And yeah, it's hard, but you know, admitting that to myself is hard. It's not nice. And it's also hard shifting that, but the only way things are going to change if things change. So it's like, okay, well, I'm not where I want to be. Why? Where have I not been doing the work? I've not been disciplined. I haven't been consistent. I haven't been strong in my truth, which has been a huge thing for me because of all of the toxicity that I went through in my organization. I put part of me and my leadership in a cave because I'm very loving, I'm very empathetic, I'm very heart-centered, but I'm very, don't fuck around. I will tell you how it is. I will tell you if you're letting yourself down. Some people don't like the truth. I posted something the other day on Facebook. I'm really starting to step back into my spice, but in a loving way, because I used to be a lot more spicy back then before I went in the cave, but I wasn't, my communication wasn't loving and compassionate. I didn't learn how to effectively communicate. And to be a leader, you really need to know how to effectively communicate. And that was a huge learning for me, was learning nonviolent communication. I have that book, I can share it with you. I'm really learning how to effectively communicate and set my boundaries and be direct and assertive, but kind at the same time. I never used to be able to do that. So I'd be like, meh, 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 victim mentality, victim mindset, but it was very attackive. And no one likes to be attacked. No one likes to be spoken to like a piece of shit. But the way that I used to speak in that way. I didn't mean to. It wasn't conscious. It was unconscious because I was brought up in a society and in a way of being, which the majority of us are, where we don't feel safe. And when we don't feel safe, we're either defensive or attacking, or we're doing both at the same time, right? So I did a post the other day, just say on Facebook, and I put it on my Instagram as well. I was like, I haven't got the time for people that don't want to consciously evolve and ascend, that are not intentionally doing it. I just haven't got the time for those people. Oh, I want to do this, but they're not doing the things. Oh yeah, you want it, Sally, all right, but you're not showing up in the way that you're supposed to. Stop lying to yourself. Get your head out of the sand. So I basically said this, and someone commented saying, oh, well, you're getting a bit judgy. And I looked at the comment, I was like, that's a judgment in itself, your comment. My ego wanted to be like, meh, but then I took a step back and I asked the question. I was like, okay, how so? Because it wasn't judgy. I'm very objective, but she didn't respond anyway. But the reason that I share this with you is because I kept that part away because of the projections that I get. But now I know that it's simply a part of my design. And this is the beauty of me really diving deep into my human design. That's been another journey that I've been on over the last 5 years, is really learning about my design. Because with the 5 line, I get projections. I trigger people. I don't even need to try it. Just me being me, living my life triggers people. And I'm a huge mirror. And people are going to be like, me, 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 me. And now I know that it's nothing to do with me and it's everything to do with them. So I either choose to block, or now, because I know that and I'm in a healthy and loving space, I'll get curious and say, okay, so how so? Let's have a conversation about this. But she didn't respond. But anyone else, I'm like, okay, cool. Where's that coming from? Because it's not me, it's them. But I used to say, oh, it's you. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. I don't know where I'm going with that. But yeah, just energy. Put your focus where you want it to go and be honest with yourself about where you're letting yourself down, where you're letting others down, where you're being unhealthy, where you're being toxic, what you need to let go of. And it's all about asking yourself the right questions.
Beautiful. I love that. And what I'm hearing is that the way that you have transformed as a leader, is what I'm teaching these guys as well, is that, you know, before you go and lead other people, you have to first be a good leader for yourself. So what you transformed with in your growth journey was you're very good at giving that truth initially in the fights, but it was the way that you were communicating that truth that was what needed to change. That's a skill in itself. And I'm guessing that your ability to have conversations with yourself started to change and transform, where you were speaking more lovingly with the truth rather than it just being one of the two extremes, is what I'm getting from what you said there.
Can you rephrase that?
Yeah. So
it's 8 p.m. I've been up since like before 4 a.m. I had a half-hour nap and I've been very like, so yeah.
you've been speaking a lot, so you're listening to up a little bit. I get it. It's perfect. I was basically saying that from what you shared there, a lot of it sounds like your journey with leadership and how you've been able to transform the way that you not only communicate, but, you know, really what you communicate as well. So you are sharing both the truth and the love with your team, your organization, giving them a bit of a balance of both and communicating it in an assertive way rather than being, you know, very aggressive or defensive. So
yes.
I'm guessing that as well, like that's been an internal thing that you've had to overcome, where you change the way that you were communicating with yourself.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've brought a lot of love and compassion into myself and my own journey. And it's also, yeah, because it really, because of how malleable I am and because of how energetically sensitive I am, again, this is why I've put up, should we say, barriers, not barriers, requirements to work with me one-on-one now. And it's, I'm here to help people I'm here to support, I'm here to guide as many people as I possibly can. And they're not necessarily going to be people on my level now or a couple of chapters behind. They could be people that are at the very starting point that I was at. And I've realized through my own leadership journey that I can't work with those people right at their start. So also why I've set up my business in the way that I have, because I know that if they lead themselves through the platform and do the work and start getting the results, they're going to be of that mindset where they're going to be coachable because they're actually showing up and doing the thing. And not everyone is coachable either. So it's because, yeah, I'm not aggressive in the way that I communicate anymore. I used to be, for sure. And yeah, it is partly because of how I've shifted the way in which I talk to and treat myself, but also because I've become very aware, or I became very aware of how I was doing it to other people and how it was hurting other people. And I didn't want to hurt people. It was just a very unconscious way of being because of the way that I'd been inadvertently trained and conditioned through my surroundings, through my family, through society, and all of that stuff. So through me taking full ownership and accountability and checking myself when I noticed certain toxicities, or when I noticed me insulting someone, when like it would just come out, and then I'd be like, why did I do that? What? And really checking reactivity. It's awareness, right? And that's the whole process of awakening. It's being aware. It's becoming aware. There's a woman that I follow. I watched a live that she did recently. She was talking about the fires that were happening in California, and she said what's been happening is we've typically as a collective been walking through this reality with just one eye open, and now what's happening is our other two eyes are opening, not just this one but this one as well. And through that there comes pain, there comes anger, there comes sadness, there comes despair, for various different reasons, because we've been lied to, because we find out that we haven't been the perfect one, but various different things. And a huge part of this journey as well is really honoring and validating and respecting and giving space to the feelings that come up. That's why when the feelings have come up, I cry, I let it out, because they're ready to be released. And we've been taught to suppress. We've been taught to hold it back. And when we suppress it, it stays stuck in our body. That energy has to go somewhere. So if it's stuck in our body, what then happens, because the energy wants to go somewhere, is it manifests in an uncomfortable way, either through disease, whether that be mental illness, physical illness, or whether that be in our relationships and through our reactivity. So it's really important that when we're going through this awakening process, that we feel the feelings, that we honor the feelings in a healthy way. Yeah, we're going to be angry. That doesn't necessarily mean that we need to go and shout at the person that we're angry at, because it's not necessarily their fault. They've just triggered something that happened in our childhood. It's just a story from our childhood that keeps repeating through triggers. And you'll notice this the deeper you go into the journey. All of these triggers, or if you want to call it an activation, whatever feels better for you, all of these things that come up, it's not their fault. Mo might trigger you as he's leading you, as he's mentoring and guiding you. That's not him. It's you. It's all you. Everything is you. Your external reality is a reflection of your internal reality. Your external reality is a reflection of your internal reality. All of your relationships are reflecting you. They're responding to you. It's not their fault. It's yours. You are the problem, which is very confronting at first because our ego doesn't want to, oh, I'm not the problem, I'm great. But when we admit, okay, I am the problem, whether it be I'm a toxic problem or I'm allowing it, you can either be penetrating it or receiving it. Either way, you're the problem. And there's I'm going through the Kabbalah right now. So very interesting. I love exploring all of these different faith practices. I was exploring Jesus for a while. Now I'm exploring the Kabbalah. I'm a practicing Buddhist as well, by the way. So I'm just like, I love learning. And what he says is when we're faced with something that's a test or a trigger or something that brings up negative energy, say, oh, what a pleasure. What a pleasure. Thank you. Because everything's happening for you. So when you look at it in that sense, oh, what a pleasure. Thank you. I'm only going to grow through this. What is it? Then that opens up space for us to see and to process. And that's not to say ignore the negative emotion, but other people don't deserve. There's enough hate in the world. Look at what's going on all around the world. There's enough hate. There's enough division. We don't need more of it. We don't need more of it. So when we're feeling any kind of negativity, we learn how to process it in a healthy and contained way. This is emotional intelligence. And there are plenty of books on emotional intelligence that you can read. And that's really what's going to allow you to beautifully shape your relationships as well. I don't know what else to say. I'm like, whoo.
I think you said it in the and we've been on for a good hour and 20 minutes, so I also appreciate it. It's pretty late out there when somebody was asking where you're at, and so you're in Bali. So yeah, I mean, guys, if this has been enough for you, then just give some appreciation to Mel right now for coming out and providing all this value. We'll have to definitely do this again sometime, and maybe slotting out for a longer period, because you can really go when you get let out.
Yeah, I'm so excited to get on stage. I was at the Japan and I was watching Clint and Christy, and you remember when they were like, think about your vision and getting us into that. I started crying because I see myself on the stage where they were, and I'm excited to share this frequency with people in that capacity, because I can speak, and when I'm in it, and if I'm surrounded by all of these energies, I'm just gonna be like, yeah. But yeah, it's really been a pleasure. I really love to share everything that I've learned in my journey, and it's by no means been easy, but at the same time it's been so easy. There's been no question of a doubt about it. As hard as it was letting go of my old life, letting go of my family. You know, I mean, I haven't let them go. I mean, they're still there and I'll see them. However, for me to really land and anchor into my power away from them and know who I am and really be in my power. Like my all of the men in my family came to visit at the end of last year, October, November. And that's been my biggest wounding. And from observation, typically, our biggest wounding for females is the masculine, and for the males, the biggest wounding is the feminine. So it was interesting for me because I put it out there that I wanted to go back for Christmas. It didn't align. But then the universe was like, oh, you want to go and see your family? You think you're ready? You've done all this spiritual work. I'm going to bring all of the men to you. So they came, and it was really beautiful because I was very anchored in my power and my brother's a very strong man, very beautiful man, also very ego-led. So you can imagine. And there was times where I just had to be like, no, just no. But it was in a very grounded, powerful way that didn't create conflict. That was just like, I'm not going to stand for that. And it's been hard in a sense of all of this letting go, but it's been easy because of the vision that I have. The vision is the vision is and always has been my family. At first it was my mum, and then it's my children. It's the life that I'm creating for my children. Not just the external, not just the material, but the safety and the security. Not just for money, but emotions. I never felt safe and secure to go to my parents and speak to them about how I felt. There were certain things where I didn't get the emotional support and the needs that I needed, the communicational needs. I didn't get them from I didn't get that from my parents. Not that they're bad people, they're amazing people. My parents are amazing. I'm so grateful for them. But our parents are our biggest teachers. So the sooner you can let go of resentment towards your parents, the better, because they've taught you so much. And something that I read recently as well was, until you give yourself everything that your parents didn't give you, your relationships are just going to mirror your parents. I was like, fuck. And also on top of that is healing the relationship with our parents as well. Because unless we do that, this is just speculation here, but unless we do that, the relationship with our children are just going to reflect the relationship that we had with our parents. We inherit all of this stuff. And I'm breaking all of the generational curses and chains. That's why I'm here. And if you're vibing with it, and if you're a light warrior here to do the same, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel the truth in your body. And it's not easy by any means. However, if we don't do it, our children are going to have to. That's not fair on them. So as hard as it's been, and as hard as it will continue to be, I'm very sure, it's also very fucking easy, because what's the alternative? First it was, what's the alternative? If I don't create my freedom, what's the alternative? I'm a slave to the system. Fuck that. No, I don't want someone telling me what to do. I'm not. And, I had to go through all of this with my business. I'm not having someone tell me how to build my business. Don't tell me how to build my business. Don't tell me how to show up in my personal brand. Don't tell me what to say. And it's really important that in your business, you trust yourself. How do you want to show up? How do you want to build your business? How do you want to do things as a leader? It's not going to be the same as the way Mo does it, or your upline, or whoever. And that's great. Yay! We don't want another Mo. He's already great. We don't need another great person. We need another great you. And that's the important thing, is coming back to the power and the trust within yourself, so you lead in your own unique way. Because when you're in that truth, you attract your soul tribe, and you become a beacon of light for those to also awake. And then ultimately the world rises. We rise together. So yes, it's hard, but it's also easy when we have a vision in mind, when we make it bigger than ourselves. It's not about us. It's not about us. Stop being so selfish. Get out of your ego. It's about who we are impacting, not just our family, not just our children, but our soul tribe. If you're anything like me, I never fit in when I was younger. I was the misfit. I was the reject. I was bullied. All of the things. I never felt like I belonged. And that's also been hard for me, because it's like, that recently uncovered as well, which was a lot. I know we just nearly finished, but I can speak. And I'm happy to speak. I really love pouring in and supporting. So as long as you're cool.
Yeah, we still early days over here. It's still like only 12 p.m. over in the UK. So we'll keep you as long as you're happy to talk.
All right, cool. Yeah, that was another layer that I uncovered recently, was a fear of being seen. And I was like, what? I mean, you know what I used to look like. I had piercings, bright pink hair, shaved head, hair tattooed, all of the tattoos and everything. So I have a fear of being seen. And then I had to quickly get over that bullshit, because it's not about me. It's not about me. It's about everyone that I'm supporting. And that's what makes it easy. That's what pulls me through. It's not about pushing yourself. You don't need to push yourself to create your dreams, to create your life. I have never pushed myself, ever. I've been pulled. I sat here all day today, pretty much, until about 6, in a flow of work, because I'm starting to get out into the community to do, I'm sharing the water more. So I created this ebook. It's fucking amazing. It's so good. So proud of myself. But then I was so happy to do it. And then I'm dancing and having a good time, and we get to have fun with it as well. It doesn't necessarily need to be, and bring in your fun, bring in your weirdo, especially with your brand as well, because that's how you're going to attract your brand of weird. Everyone wants to be like everyone else. That's boring. No, be like you. Be like you. And what is your weird you? Don't be vanilla. This is a mentor of mine that I've recently invested in. Your vanilla's boring. If you're not getting results, you're being too vanilla. What's your not vanilla? What's the elephant in the room that you're like, I couldn't share that? Share it. Because that's what's going to allow you to connect with people. That's where people are going to be like, yes, I connect with that. Oh, just hit my table. But yeah, Amy Winehouse. Russell Brand. No, I'm actually from 20 minutes away from where Russell Brand was from. So yeah.
Yeah. They've been calling you the female Russell Brand, Amy Winehouse vibes. That's what people have been saying. But yeah, just a lot of gratitude from everyone. Apparently you've gone deep today.
I go deep every day, darling. I'm not a shallow bullshit kind of person.
yeah, we can definitely tell. Alex has said you've definitely opened up something for me, so thank you. Ben said thank you for your time, and energy. So yeah, I think people are really happy with the vanilla that they've seen today. So keep showing up as you. We don't want the vanilla. We want what flavor would you describe yourself as?
Chocolate rose.
I thought you were going to say chocolate, yeah. Chocolate rose.
Chocolate
we want the chocolate rose. Yeah.
Oh, no. Chai.
Chai? Never heard of that flavor before.
You've never had chai before? Oh my gosh.
Chai ice cream?
No. Or you can have, they do chai ice cream. Where I am anyway, you can get chai flavor.
Okay.
But yeah,
Okay, yeah.
next time you go to an Indian, get a chai. It's so good.
Yeah, I mean, my dad is actually Pakistani, so like chai.
So you know chai?
Yeah, of course.
Have you had chai then?
I don't like it. Not gonna lie.
I love it. Put honey in it. Great.
Yeah, maybe that's what it's missing. But yeah, everyone's really enjoyed it. Inspirational, Ravani saying as well. So thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate you. Thank you for asking me out. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Live is what I really enjoy, and for such a long time, because I went in my cave. I stopped going live as much. And I don't know if you remember, I used to go live all of the time. And yeah, I stopped doing it, and I'm working on getting myself back out there doing lives. But yeah, there's been like, time difference. Oh, no one cares what you have to say. And I randomly went live a few days ago, and someone messaged me the next day saying, thank you so much. That really gave me something to think about, and I really appreciate it. So yeah, this and what she said is spurring me. But yeah, it's hard for this reflector at 8 o'clock at night. Just like, ready for bed now.
Yeah. That's the only issue with being in Bali. So if you want to head to Bali, just remember you're going to be up late nights and doing business like that. But yeah, Alex is saying people will be there who need to be there. I love this lady's energy. Yeah. People love that. We need more lives, more lives.
I appreciate you all so much. Thank you so much for being here and receiving me. I appreciate you. And thank you so much for asking me to come out.
Thank you as well. You definitely don't need to have a fear of being seen. We all want to see more.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think we'll probably wrap it up there. So you can have a nice sleep. And yeah, we'd love to do this again sometime, of course.
Cool. Thank you so much, Mo. I love you lots. And for everyone in the community as well, you've got this. The reason that you're on this journey is because you're meant to be on this journey. And magic is magic. It wouldn't have found you unless you're meant to be on this journey. So just trust yourself, believe in yourself, and stand strong in your warrior spirit, because we're quite literally here to change the world. This movement is phenomenal. If you don't, maybe you know about the Underground Railway, but if you don't know about the Underground Railway, go and look it up. We're the modern day version of the Underground Railway. We're supporting people break free from modern day slavery and rise up their levels of consciousness so we can create our own version of heaven on earth. We've been duped into this lie that life is eat, sleep, work, rave, repeat. And it's not. We've been duped into this lie of fear and scarcity and struggle. No, it's our birthright to be abundant. It's our birthright to be safe. It's our birthright to be loved. It's our birthright. And the only way that we get that is if we claim it and is if we stay strong. The Matrix is a very real story. And this, with a magic, you've been given, I think, is it the red pill or the blue pill? I don't even know the fucking pill, but don't take the pill that takes you back into the illusion. You're coming out of the illusion, and you have such an amazing leader in Mo as well. So you got this. You're not on your own. And if you ever desire any support from a feminine, you can reach out to me. My inbox is open.
Yeah, let me be masculine, please.
Yeah, no, you could be the divine masculine, I'll be the divine feminine. It's all good.
Yeah. I struggle to be the feminine for these guys, but we've got Mel now, and she'll help you out if you all need that. I actually have quite a few female leaders coming up right now as well, so I'm sure they'll be in touch with you to get that belief and support that you can share. Amazing. Well, yeah. All right, let's wrap things up, and have a good evening, everyone, or afternoon, wherever you are, and we'll do this again sometime.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Peace and love.
Have a great day, guys. Bye.
Bye.